everyone, my name is Rahmatul Mahfirati Sabila. I'm from Semarang State University, majoring at English Literature, and now I'm studying Global Studies at the University of Sussex. First heard of IISMA from my classmates. She asked me to join the socialization Zoom, which my lecturer had shared on WhatsApp. The process was a long journey for me. First, I have to do an English proficiency test, and then I have to do some research about the University of Sussex and the culture in the UK. And I think the most challenging process is that when I have to make my visa application and when I have to make my passport. I think the most memorable part of the application process is when I met another awardees at the Ministry of Education and Culture office, because that is the first time I met my friends from other city, and also that was the most difficult process because I have to go from my house in Purwakarta to Jakarta, and it's quite far, but overall I enjoyed the process. My first experience to do a quarantine in the UK, I think there's no difficulty because the facility and the staff, all of them are make sure that the quarantine is well managed, and I feel like I'm really served here, and I love how the quarantine process going. It's all easy and there's no difficult. The first time when I have to choose my subject, I choose based on my passion and what I like the most. I choose subject that is related to literature, such as reading, critical thinking, and also digital environment. I think the most memorable event from IISMA is the Youth Pledge event, because there I can connect with other awardees, and I also can interact with other friends from the University of Sussex.
My first impression of host country, it was a very cold country. It was sunny, but at the same time it was cold and the air is very dry compared to Indonesia. And I also noticed that everything is well managed since I landed in London airport. All of the quarantine process is easy and very fast. There is no long queue. There is no difficulties. Everything went smoothly. And my first impression of University of Sussex, it was very green and fresh university. And since it is located near the national park and it is far away from the highway, there is no pollution, there is no noisy, and it was a best place to study. Initial cultural difference I noticed in the UK are self-service or self-checkout is very common in every store, and the public transportation is very on time. Therefore, I have to wake up early and I have to train myself to be more punctual. Different lecture practice I noticed are the lecturer or the tutor are very welcome. They never pinpoint someone to answer a question or to ask a question. And also reading is very important. Before the lecture begin, we must read the material so that we can engage in the discussion and we can understand what is the topic being discussed. And also there is less homework. There is no weekly assignment or weekly quizzes. There are only mid-test and final test. I introduced Indonesian culture through the Indonesian Youth Pledge event. There, I teach Indonesian language to native students in the University of Sussex. They are very enthusiastic and very curious about Indonesian language, and I'm so happy to know that they are really engaged in conversation, in the games, and they want to learn more about Indonesian language. Change in study habit, I realized, is that reading is very important. Reading is number one. We must read the material beforehand, and therefore I often went to the library to do some research about the topic, and the library is very comfortable and they have infinite access for journal sources, and it is very helpful for me to develop my study. I think the exam is very challenging for me because I have to write an essay for about 1,000 until 2,500 words, and it is very it is quite hard for me because in my home university I rarely write an essay to that amount of words, and since the essay percentage is very high, I have to do my best for my essays. I think to get good grades, first is that we have or you have to be more active in class, engage in every discussion, and also you have to prepare your essay beforehand earlier. It can be 2 months or 1 month before the deadlines because the amount of words is very big and you have to well manage your time so that you can revise your essay several times to avoid plagiarism. And also, you don't have to be afraid if you have any difficulties about the essays because every subject will provide you an essay tutoring, and the tutor is very welcome to any questions, any difficulties. If you want to consult with them, like you still confused about the topic or you have difficulties about the format of the essays, you can ask them anything, and because they are very welcome and they really motivate you to do your best for the essays. After joining ISMA program, I learned that I have to study harder to keep up with other students. I have to be more punctual, to be more diligent, and to be more critical towards some issues, and be more open-minded to engage in every conversation. Aspect from host university that I want to be implemented in home university is the habit of reading. Reading is very important. It is very helpful for us because after reading the material, we can engage more in conversation in class and we can give a wide opinion regarding the topic. And also, other than reading, I want the infinite access of journal to be implemented in my home university because we can access more resource for our research or essays if the access is open. And I hope my home university can give infinite access to Microsoft Word or Zoom or other scholarly websites such as Science Direct, Microsoft Academic, and GStore, and etc. My commitment before leaving ISMA has not changed. I still willing to be a speaker for MBKM program or any other webinar regarding ISMA program. I think I want to introduce the educational system in the University of Sussex to be implemented in my home university, and I hope the e-learning system in my home university can be developed to be a better learning system.
I think that's all for me. Thank